So today we got first some team reports and stuff to get into, but I just want to thank you all for being here. I see some new faces. Welcome. This is, if you were not aware where you are, this is Prescott Indivisible. We are a group part of National Indivisible. The goal is essentially to counter the Trump agenda on the local legislative level, defensive advocacy, and support democracy and inclusive values. And basically what we're here to do today is to talk about action that happened, action that will happen, and things you can do. This itself is great, community, awesome, feel good, but this is not the action. The action is what happens in the teams, the action is what happens in the marches, the action is what happens out there. So I encourage each and every one of you guys to listen to what the various teams have to say, their presentations and stuff, and see what stands out for you. What would you like to get involved with? Because this is about actually getting involved. That's the hope. So today we've got a few things. We've got some teams that will present. We've got a few local candidates who will be, and regional candidates who are going to be kind of introducing themselves. Who will be running later in November. And then we've got a speaker, Ken Clark, on some of the Arizona stuff. And I'm glad all you guys are here because this is absolutely necessary. Things need to happen. We need stuff to get done. And as of right now, the only time things happen is when we pressure our representatives. So that's what we're here for, is to pressure representatives. So thank you guys. We're on the right side of history, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think everybody thinks they are, but I think we are. And John, our treasurer, pouring us the book stuff.
Hello. I'll give you a quick treasurer's report and then I'll pass some of these around. The net funds I reported in our account at the beginning of the last meeting, or as of the last meeting, was $1,308.74. We sold some t-shirts and some stickers for a few bucks last time, and we had $291 in donations at the last meeting, which was awesome. Thank you guys so much. You keep us running. We had a couple expenses this time. We spent some 38 bucks on postcards, and Maria got us some banners and posters that we much needed. So anyway, as of this meeting, the bank account is $1,499.95, and we have 170 in petty cash, so we have a total funds on hand of $1,669.95.
The peacekeepers should plan to carry no signs if at all possible. Our goal, our purpose is to observe, to pay attention to what's going on around us and around the people marching and around the streets around us, so that we know if there's a brewing issue that may need either a call to the police or if there's a potential confrontation brewing because an opposition person and one of our marchers gets into a verbal spat, that we can intervene. But at some point, if it just keeps escalating, it's time to call the police. So, but the plan is to then march around the square. Prescott PD suggested that you march either in single file or 2 by 2, because that way you avoid bunching up. So anyhow, I think that's pretty much what I have to say.
And look at these
wonderful
vests.
At least there are 8 peacekeepers who will be wearing these vests. That is so we are visible to everybody.
Thank you very much, Lois. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to become, join the peacekeepers and help kind of keep the march organized and keep it safe and let police know if there's something that's coming unsafe, please do so.
We do a lot of the protests for preserving the monuments. Keep your tiny hands off our public lands, pro-EPA, and don't start killing baby animals and their moms in dens, the ESA, the Endangered Species Act. that kind of thing.
Clean air.
Clean water, clean air. So we also worked with the immigration team on not having the wall. They were doing the DACA. There's also the effort to take away our public lands. We need people to actively call and write and make comments about we do not want Bears Ears reduced. We do not want anything reduced. This is important because if we don't speak up and we don't speak out and we don't raise our voices, it won't stop there. Now, the environmental team has had the really good fortune of having the Sierra Club and CWAG working with us. And these people are very well educated. They've been environmental activists for a long time. And they are really good at giving us information that we need and helping us to understand more fully all the issues, so that we don't have to go and research these things. And then we can become better activists, okay? What's going on? We are not getting correct information from our officials. So we need to find out from CWAG, from the Sierra Club, and you can come to our environmental team meetings and you can get some general information at our meetings. The thing is, we want to put together a green business directory. And I think that would be good because we should support businesses that are green.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the captain of the human rights team. Captain? Leader. First of all, the human rights team includes healthcare, women's rights, LGBTQ rights, reproductive rights, women's issues. So we have, a lot on our plate. We have a lot on our plate. But one thing that our group has been really good about is staying in touch with our representatives. We call, we send letters, we send postcards. We've been doing that a whole lot on all the issues that affect us. And we do demonstrations. We did a demonstration once a month after we got started in February or so through the year. We did decide at our last meeting that Paul Gosar is a threat to our human rights in all ways, shapes, and forms, and that some of the very best, most important work we could do in 2018 is to get him the hell out of the house.
And Human Rights is not the only group that was working on the election stuff. Prescott Indivisible as a whole is going to be pivoting. We're trying to move towards maybe a little bit more of an elections focus as 2018 comes along. Because one of the things about trying to persuade your representatives is if they tend sometimes not to hear you. We managed to go down to Phoenix, me and some other members, to Flake's town hall, but Gosar declined repeated invitations to town halls. We ended up having to kind of create a mock one, pretend to be Gosar. And he has still yet to hold a town hall in Prescott or Yavapai County in general in the last, I don't know, how long has it been? A couple of years?
Yes, my name is Maria Elena Dunn, and I am a member of the immigration team of Prescott Indivisible. Our chairperson, or our captain, is Suki Jones, and she could not be here today. In 2017, we, as everybody else in this group, we had a full agenda because obviously immigration, the wall, the Dreamers, all of these things became major issues. We took the same approach as many of the groups of our teams. It was contacting the members of Congress, having demonstrations, including in support of the DACA, in Prescott Valley and different places. We also created an information flyer in Spanish for the Hispanic and the Latino community in our Quad Cities area that gives people data and information in terms of what you can and cannot do or say, or if you were stopped and asked for your papers in your car, in a place of employment, if ICE or the police comes to your home. We have become familiar, or we have been advised, and actually my husband did it on the side a couple of nights ago, that there is a professor from Prescott, from Yavapai College, who has a talk show in one of the local stations, and his principal fun and games activity is to be ultra-right and to denigrate immigrants. And he apparently, what he is doing, at least in the 2 shows that my husband listened to, is rather than specifically saying that immigrants should be shot and killed, etc., which he says, I have heard, or so-and-so said, and so he incites you know, this kind of behavior, but without trying to get himself in trouble for these particular issues. One of the shows was also about climate change, and his particular take on it is the information that he uses to support his particular activities, or what his positions are of course lies or half-truths. The other thing is we have had cards printed, okay? And on the one side, the card is encouraging people to attend the march. So we have them in the back by the, you know, the t-shirts, etc. Please take some and pass them out. But the more important thing is on the other side, we talk about Prescott Indivisible and are encouraging and giving information to people on how to register to vote. And that is the only thing that we are going to be doing at the march, because it's too complicated, and not knowing the weather, the idea of having a table and people standing by, or you know, trying to fill out the forms, we don't see it as viable. So please take these, hand them out to encourage people to go to the march, and then on the other side, encouraging them to register to vote. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you guys for being here. You know, I hope you know it. You know, Indivisible is a nationwide organization. There are at least 2 groups for every legislative district in the country. So this kind of meeting is happening over and over and over and over again in all states all over the place. And because of that, it's not just this group, but all these groups together. That voice has been really powerful in being able to kind of shape and stop legislation. I think we've only had one loss so far, just that tax bill. Everything else we've been kind of doing well.
I'm Maria Lynham, and I hate to say the leader of the communication and events team, because we're an amazingly collaborative group. And we have to work together on everything. And I consider us like the octopus. We did a chart of everything that we do in October, and we were like blown away. It was just incredible. So anyway, one of our things is we have our newsletter that goes out every Monday, and we have fantastic newsletter editors, and they focus on what's happening nationally, and then of course what's happening in the teams. And I have to just tell you that I publish my own newsletter every Wednesday, and you've heard them talk about persist and resist, and so that's me. And if you ever want anything in it, let me know. I think a lot of you get it, and if you don't, see me and we'll get you on the mailing list. So I'm almost at 1,000. And it's amazing, because every week I get maybe 10 more people. And I'm sure Prescott Indivisible does too, so we are making a difference.
Hi everybody, I'm Toni Kaus, and for the last year or so, that's about a year, I've been working, I set up the Prescott Indivisible website, which is prescottindivisible.org, so easy to remember. And I asked in the last newsletters for some help, and I've got some help. I now have 2 great volunteers to work with me on the website, Georgine Bock and Joyce von Walsen. And so first of all, I hope all of you do use the website as a resource, and that's kind of what it's set up to be. So a lot of things that were talked about already this evening. You know, when people say, well, can you tell me again when that meeting is? Well, if you go to the website, you link to the calendar, and all of the teams, the steering committee, all of the events that are announced here should also be posted on the calendar that you can get to from the website. So you don't need to remember every little detail. You go, you link to the calendar, you find that event, you should be able to see where it is, when it is, maybe a contact, whatever information the person has put in. If you say, boy, I'm interested in getting involved with some group, but I want to talk to Karen, I want to talk to Jennifer, get a little more information. There's contact information for the team captains. If somebody talks about something that was in a past newsletter and you say, boy, I must have just deleted that without reading it, all of the past newsletters and the current newsletter are archived on the website. And there's a bunch of other resources. There's a link to the Prescott Indivisible YouTube channel, so you can look at any of the videos that have been posted. So it's intended to be a resource. So really, we want this to be a great resource, and we're just asking for your help with that. And I think that's really all I wanted to say. So thank you very much.
Since our last meeting, we have participated in the Academic Expo at Prescott College, and we had some interest from the students, but actually more from the faculty. So some of you are here tonight, which is very, very good, very positive. So the Women's March. Saturday, January 20th, noon to 1:30. Please be there. The communication and events team, I think 99% of our members are also on the Women's March organization team. And we have just done, everybody, the whole organization team's just done a wonderful job. So we have t-shirts for sale, just like this one. And there's also wonderful hats. They're crocheted, they're fleece, and those are for, if you would like to give us a donation, you too can wear a pink. We're calling them power hats. Power hats.
Nice. That one's cute. Pussy hats.
Right. We have a Facebook page, Women's March on Prescott. It's set up like a nonprofit, and we're advertising, Jennifer Messay's putting advertisements on there, and we're reaching out to the community all over Arizona. So that's been wonderful. Nancy Martina put up a blog. It's called whyimarchprescott.blogspot.com. So I really encourage you to get on there, sign up, and watch for all the interviews from the various members of the organizing committee about why we march. And it's quite moving. And everybody has their own reasons. So, Julia Watson is our trainer, and she has arranged for 2 requests to speak training sessions. And the second one has been changed from January 27th to February 3rd. So we can all go to the Independent Voters Organizational meeting, because we want to find out what they are doing. We know there's a lot of them, and we want to encourage them to vote. So the last thing on the agenda is our Martin Luther King March, and Larry Meads is going to talk very briefly about the schedule for the day and mention some films that he is presenting.
Thank you, Maria. Usually Val and I show about one movie a month, but there's too much going on, so we've got 4 movies this month, this month alone. A couple of them are re-screenings on the 14th, which is a Sunday at 2:30. And this is in the newsletter, and you'll see it on the website as well. The Best Democracy Money Can Buy, the new edition, which is since the 2016 election, of course. Then on the next day, Monday the 15th, that is the Martin Luther King March. We're going to muster up by Prescott College at 9 a.m., between 9 and 10 a.m., and the march kicks off at 10 o'clock. A large group of people will march down Gurley Street, go around the Prescott Courthouse Square, and then back up to the Methodist Church. So I think we should, I know, what do we have, about 98% white people in Prescott? Well, I think we need to make a showing. I think we need to show that we have some brethren that we need to walk with.
And they're all on the Prescott Indivisible calendar. So if you go there, you'll find out what's happening. The Communication and Events Committee, we have about 15 relatively active members, and there's a lot of things we want to do. People have suggested that we have some social gatherings, and we would like to do that. We don't have enough people to organize and reach out. And then also, Maria Elena talked about the voter registration effort. So if you'd like to help us in any way, see me, and I'll be more than happy to give you a task. So, thank you very much.
All right, Liz with education.
Hi, I'm Liz Callie. The education team met on December 28th. We are down to few members who are active. Plenty of them want to get emails, but we really need some people, if you want to be involved in something here. The education team this spring will be focusing on some of the new initiatives starting to crop up about education funding. Plus, trying to encourage people to go and visit our legislators, our wonderful legislators down in Phoenix at the Capitol, kind of hold their feet to the fire a bit. School funding is the top of our list. We have nothing else right now except, well, there is one item, that's the Empowerment Scholarships accounts referendum, which will be coming up on the 2018 ballot if the legislature doesn't decide to do a sneak repeal and replace, which they could do. They've done it with other issues before, but that's where we're at right now. If you want to, I have already put out an announcement in the newsletter, and I've heard from one person, and I'd like to hear from more that want to be involved in these issues, because we're running a little bit dry right now. So.
Next month we'll be doing this again, maybe a little bit more speaking, maybe a little less on the nuts and bolts of the stuff. So please, even if you were like a little bit like, wait, what? Keep on showing up, man. We need you. We need the action on this stuff. The way, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the polls, but they're a group of people, the silent majority, if you will, is activated from that, after Trump's win, and we're going to do this stuff. We just need to put in the footwork. So I am glad all you guys are here. Bring a friend, please. Everybody, bring a friend next time. Thank you.